Good day, DoomTubers, and welcome back to the lab, a place where a lot of games get started, but few get finished. Such is my situation. Thank you for joining me on my quest for enlightenment. Today I want to show you a lot of games that I have started, but haven't finished yet. Ranging from all kinds of systems here. I've got 10 plus games here that I have started but have not yet finished, and a lot of them I'm pretty far into them, and for one reason or another I just stopped playing them. Let's get started, I guess. No real explanation here. This is similar to several YouTubers who like to show their videos of games that they're currently playing or games that they've currently beaten, or beaten recently. I don't have very many of those. I have lots more games that I'm playing or have started to play but have not finished. And I do this with other things too. I do this with books a lot too. I'll start reading a book and I'll enjoy it a lot, and then for some reason or another I will stop and then pick it back up later on. I'm in the middle of like 4 books right now, or 5. A couple games that I'll mention first off before I get started here, because I'm actually playing them on ROMs right now. I'm not actually playing physical copies. One of them is Heretic from id Software. It's the prequel to Hexen. Many of you are probably more familiar with Hexen because it made it to the console. It's really fun. It's a lot like Doom in a lot of ways, but with more, I guess you could call it medieval feel to it. Your weapons are like a wand that shoots out crystals, and then an ethereal bow that shoots out these green arrows, and a big claw that shoots out magical orbs and things like that. And your enemies are monsters, and things like that. So it's very fun. It's pretty sure it's using the same engine that Doom uses. I know that Hexen does, and I think Heretic does too. It's pretty fun. I'm 5 or 6 levels into it. Not, crazy far into it, but it is a very fun game. So Heretic, check it out. And also on a ROM, I'm playing Phantasy Star 1 for the Sega Master System. I'm playing a ROM of that. I'm probably actually going to just stop playing that now. I'm pretty far into it, but I plan on getting the actual cartridge pretty soon, because I actually have the system now, and it's one of the main games that I'd like to get for the system. So that may be in my purchases very soon. So I'll probably actually just stop playing that one right now, and I just pick it, restart the game with the actual cartridge on the original hardware. Sounds like it would be a lot of fun. Okay, now we'll get into some games console-wise that I've been playing. And I'll start off with a couple that I've been playing for a really long time that I haven't finished yet. Metroid 2 for the Game Boy. I'm very, 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 very far into this game. I've only got like 2 or 3 Metroids left to kill before I get to the Queen. I have almost all of the suit upgrades. I think there's only like one thing that I'm missing, but very awesome Metroid game. I have definitely touted this as my favorite Metroid game. It's right up there, with the best of them. But Super Metroid is really growing on me also, which brings me to my next game, Super Metroid. Started playing this one also, even though I haven't beaten Metroid 2 yet. I went ahead and started Super Metroid, and I'm enjoying the crap out of it. It is a really awesome game. Okay, back to another one that I've been playing for a long time that I haven't managed to beat yet, and it's another one of my favorite games. And I can say that even though I haven't beaten it yet, because it's such a freaking long game. And that is Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. I've talked about this in a couple other videos, so I won't go into great detail about it. But it's just a tactical RPG, strategy RPG, with the name Final Fantasy on it. I'm not sure, that it actually pertains to anything to do with Final Fantasy, but it is a really fun game. Next, on the Nintendo DS that I've been playing for a long time, still never finished. That is Platinum, Pokemon Platinum version. This is it's a fun game. It's a great Pokemon game. I'm a big fan of the series. This was the first one of this generation that I played. I didn't play Diamond or Pearl. I skipped straight to Platinum when I got my DS. And it had been out for a while, so I think it was pretty cheap. I can't really remember. But I like it a lot. It's definitely a definite departure, graphically, and just the overall look of the game. Huge departure from the original Gold, Silver, Red, and Blue, which are the ones that I'm more familiar with. Because I did skip a generation. I skipped the Ruby Sapphire and Emerald generation when I first started Platinum. And then when I started Platinum, it started sort of a Pokemon frenzy, and I started buying a lot of other Pokemon games, which included Pokemon Emerald version. And I'm a little ways, like 3 badges into this game too. It's another one that I've started that, I don't know why. Platinum, I'm actually almost finished with. I got all the way to the Elite Four, and I'm playing, and I got stuck because I could not beat the Pokemon champ after you beat the Elite Four. I could not beat them. Jeez. I don't want to drop any spoilers, so I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I could not beat them. They just... So then I went back and started grinding again, and I just got bored. I got bored of grinding, and so that's why I kind of put Platinum down. And while I put Platinum down, I went ahead and started a game that I bought at the same time, virtually, just a couple weeks down the road, because I just got my DS, and that was Pokemon Soul Silver. When I got stuck on Platinum, I didn't want to stop playing Pokemon. I just wanted to stop playing Platinum because I got stuck. I wanted to play and actually get somewhere, so I went ahead and started a new game on Soul Silver, which I just got at that point. And I think they were fairly new at that point too. I'm not sure, but yeah, I love it. I love this game. Gold and Silver is actually still my favorite Pokemon generation. So really, this one almost doesn't count because I have beaten Gold. I actually never beat Silver before, but I've beaten Gold version numerous times. So I mean, technically, technically speaking, I have beat this game, but yeah, I haven't finished it on here yet. I beat the Elite Four the first time, and I'm collecting the badges in Kanto, so that gives you an idea of where I'm at with that. Next up, we have Zelda: Link to the Past on the Game Boy Advance. I never had this game for the Super Nintendo, so I never got to experience that. I still don't have it. But I started playing it on here, bought it, spent about $17. The sticker's still on. Yeah, this is a really awesome game. I haven't gotten far enough into it to tell you how I really feel about it. But the mechanics are very similar to Link's Awakening, which is what I'm really used to, because that's the Zelda game that I've played the most, and it's actually my favorite in the series. Next up, we have... Well, I don't even know what to tell you next. I've been playing this for a long time, too. Dragon Quest IX, Sentinels of the Starry Skies. Very awesome game. I love it. It's Dragon Quest. This is actually the first Dragon Quest game that I've played out of all of them. But Dragon Warrior 1 was the first one I beat. And I played that and beat it, just like last month. But this one is a lot longer game. But, yeah, I can definitely tell where, that it's stayed true to the Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest franchise, in that the gameplay is very simple, mechanics are very simple. It's just a fun game. I mean, that's about all I can say about it. It's a great story so far. I mean, I don't know, it's just great. I like it a lot. Okay, next we have, yes, there's a lot, several N64 games, and yeah. Let's get started. Quake 1. I never played this on the computer. I'm a big id Software fan, and I'm surprised that I never played this on the computer, but we never had it when I was growing up. So this was one of my very first N64 purchases. Love it. And to go along with it, Quake 2. I don't know why I started Quake 2 without beating Quake 1, but really what it came down to was I was testing out the cart right after I bought it, and I thought that the graphics and the gameplay and everything was just so much improved from this one. I thought this one was so much better that I just got hooked immediately, and I started playing it. Before I knew it, I was 3 or 4 levels in. I was like, geez, what am I doing? So, yeah, I'm right in the middle of both Quake 1 and 2. And the third N64 game is Doom 64. Big Doom fan. As if you didn't know that already, I don't know how you could have known that. But, yeah, it's just a really awesome version of Doom. It's a new game. It's not just a remake of the original Doom. So, I mean, it's just awesome. Still sprite-based, not 3D polygonal like Quake. So it's still sprites, but I don't mind. I like it a lot. It's a good throwback to the original game. Next up, we have Final Fantasy II for the PSP. This gets a lot of crap. I just watched a couple of videos recently. I feel bad for this game. I don't know. Is that real? You feel bad for a game? There's so many people that hate it. Yeah, I don't understand. It's definitely a departure, or shouldn't even say departure. It's definitely a move in a different direction from Final Fantasy I that clearly received a lot of backlash because they went right back to the formula for Final Fantasy III, or somewhere, a new system, but more similar to the system in Final Fantasy I than in 2. But yeah, I really like this game a lot. It's actually one of my favorite Final Fantasy games. Yeah, the leveling system is a little weird in that you have to take damage to raise your HP, which leads you to perform some peculiar grinding techniques that involve attacking your own party members and healing them and things like that. But that technically that's cheating. You're not really supposed to do that. You're just supposed to have random encounters, lots of them, and then gain HP that way. But there is a way around it by attacking your own party members, which just seems very silly, and it kind of is. But I don't know. I don't. That's not the part about this game that I like. The leveling system. I just like the story and the overall mechanics of the game. I just enjoy it, and I can't really explain it other than that. I played it first on the Game Boy Advance on Dawn of Souls, and it just stuck with me. I really liked it. I never did beat it, but I got pretty far. But yeah, like I said, it just stuck with me, and I can't really explain it. It's just a fun game. Next up, we have Ultima Exodus. I've done a couple of videos where I talk about this game, and it still haunts my dreams. Ultima Exodus for the NES. It's a very awesome game. It's very primitive RPG for the Nintendo. It's one of the earlier RPGs, obviously. I mean, this was before Final Fantasy and Dragon Warrior. It's a lot harder than those games, and those games, just basically took the same kind of concept and made it a little simpler and made it very approachable. And I could definitely appreciate that. I love Dragon Warrior 1 and Final Fantasy 1. They're among my favorite games. They're both probably in my top 10 games of all time, actually, thus far. I love them both a lot. And, yeah, but the Ultima games on the NES, I don't know if they're harder or easier on the PC. I've never played them on the PC, but I know that Exodus for the NES is hard. At least for me. It's probably because I'm so used to playing games like Final Fantasy and Dragon Warrior, which are a little bit easier, that now going back and trying to play one that's harder, it's even harder. And last but certainly not least, I cracked, because I got stuck on Exodus, and I started Dragon Warrior 2. So, I'm only about 4 or 5 hours in on it. Having fun, a lot of fun. The gameplay is very similar, almost identical to Dragon Warrior 1, except now you're able to face multiple enemies at a time, and also you have more than one person in your party. Right now I just have 2, but I know that you get 3 eventually. It's just myself and one other person right now. Or the hero, I guess I should say, not really myself. I'll see myself. I got to name him. It's me. It's myself and one other guy right now. I'm just kind of grinding it out a little bit, trying to gain some levels before I move on to my next destination. So that's Dragon Warrior 2, and that's all the games that I'm currently playing that I haven't finished. To be honest, Final Fantasy Tactics, I started that when I was in high school. I was probably a junior in high school, which would have been around 2004. So yeah, I've been playing Final Fantasy Tactics for almost 10 years. Yeah, that's weird to say. So there we go. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games that I'm smack dab in the middle of right now. Kind of sad, really. Kind of sad. But hey, I'm having a good time with it, so I can't really complain. Or I shouldn't complain. I can, but I shouldn't, because it's my own fault. Alright, thanks for hanging out with me. Doom Waves out.